Some of the women in my life, past, present, goodness, amazing, first and foremost. I have learnt from the women in my life, grateful for them. And to my amazing sisters, I've learned so much from you. From my mothers and aunts, from my teachers, from some adversaries, but some lovers. I have learnt. One thing I will say though, gosh, some of you treat yourselves so recklessly, dangerously reckless. Now I know how to reckless abandon, but within an awareness, a deeper awareness of safety. And you'll know you're with someone who's truly good for you, meant for you, being hinted by the divine intelligence from which your own intelligence is an emergent property amongst many properties of a totality that is happening here and now, through which these photons and these sound waves and আমার এই শব্দগুলো আপনি যে শুনতে যাচ্ছেন আপনার প্রাণ আপনার ভালোবাসাকে নিয়ে about your capacity to love and experience true love. There's a safety dimension, but there is also adventure. It is a paradox. You will know deep safety, but you will also experience the best adventure with such a being. Just knowing them will have that effect on you. You can't help, your subconscious can't help but be inspired. Don't you love it when you can't be helped? The dangers of being gluttonous from the tree of knowledge. Gluttonous, mind gluttony. That's a concept. Listen. Baiji has a point. Mind gluttony can lead to excessive conditionalities by which one is assessing for outcome within a particular aspect of reality. Have you ever made a dish, right? And then people were waiting, like literally waiting at the thing, but you're like, just a little bit more over here, and then people are like, "Yo, bro, we're hungry. Where the food at? We can smell an incredible thing, but where's the food?" Let me tell you the danger of mind gluttony. It's not just that you leave the people hungry and yourselves hungry, ever perfecting the dish. It's not that. It's even weirder and perhaps in some cases scarier. And this is going to happen to a lot of women, including some really intelligent ones with some decent wisdom. In spite of this will happen. And that is, you imagine that you're cooking, but there was no meal ever made, or the meal was not made in time. And so by the time you do have a meal, if you have one at all, what happened to the guests? What happened to the time when you were hungry? So it's the paradox of the gluttony of mind. Ever desiring, you are always creating a division between what is and what must be. Now, having said this, there is a dimension of us as the creator, matrix, sees, integrated, divine, and sprinkled a few false and illusory ones on top. That divine matrix is is trying to serve you. It's actually it's that line from Krishna, which is once you realize it's just me behind all of this, you'll stop worrying. Stop worrying. Okay? Once you realize it's Allah, once you realize it's the one. But taking forms, realms, entering as, in and as. And so you will stop trying to control for outcome from that from which your own intelligence is an emergent property. And you'll actually experience a meal. You'll know a life. You'll live a life. But can you do it in a... I want to use this word, but it's... People have mixed feelings about it now. But it's a powerful word. And that is holy. Holy electricity. Right? That's the name of the first song I've made. Holy electricity is a thing. It's an actual energy. It's processing this now. And you can amp it up. It's possible. And we're living through a very important time, and a time of profound change, flux. The last days, literally biblical, prophesized across multiple traditions, Islamic tradition, biblical. Even I found an interesting Vedic reference as well about a second incarnation of Vishnu, and that relates to all of this. Warriors of the rainbow, you name it. Okay, the multiple. And why do we have prophecies in times like these? Take a moment. It is because there is such an explosion of the written word and knowledge to knowledge. Us as knowledge beings, knowledge workers, we need to know when not to know. When enough knowing is enough, and it's decision time, it's cutting, it's making something real. Or it's embracing. And the thing about Christ is that when he says he's coming back, he wasn't joking. When people think of Christ, that they think, he's going to bring peace and all these things. They don't, he literally says this, they don't realize I am bringing the sword, and I am kicking ass and taking names, to put it in modern vernacular. So that awareness, that high level intelligence, is playing itself out at a very specific dimensional reality right here, right now. Not everyone's paying attention to this. Including perhaps not even myself deeply enough. I don't know. But this is my limited understanding. And I say this for my beloved mind warriors, because the mind warrior is able to use their mind. They're able to use their mind, but they're able to use it in a way as to make good and right decisions as much as possible. Nobody's perfect, but perfection is it's an ever illusory target we aim for over and over again. So anyway, I'm going to try and wrap this up. These emissions, there are people who make hour-long videos, there are people who make all kinds of lengths, but I try to keep them as long and as short as I need them to be, until I've said what I need to say, until I've done or try to reorient mind, body, spirit towards what needs to be done at the total ayasic balance, which I call the balance of self and other. But it's a dance. It's a dance. That's what it is. So yeah, I'll end with another interesting Bible verse, There's a time to play. There's a time to dance. There is a time to work, and then there's a time to sleep. And there is a time for the bath, and there is a time for um, something else. Okay, so be timely. There's a standardization of time that is recommended. Having said this, do you know what time anything is? That's up to the discerning conscious mind. Sometimes that needs to be disciplined in periodic flows across, weeks, months. Other times it's allowed to be fluid and free, spontaneous, like on a holiday or when one is doing a different kind of work, right? And I have done a different kind of work a lot of my life to get to these realizations. Some of you will hear, not everyone's going to hear, not that I would know everything, but I'm going to have conversations across the next weeks, months, years, implementing solutions, okay, with people, building new companies, building new solutions to many of the things we're facing, right? Making new music, making new movies and TV series, telling some of your stories, some of the people who are going to be involved on this channel, as well as who are already doing incredible things out in the world. Many of you are. Very grateful to know you. Consider it a real privilege. We're needed now. We're needed in a big way. And so here's to being able to listen, to deeply listen. Because when we don't listen, right? Especially my ladies out there, when you ain't listening, you're assuming. Okay, this is some deep shit. Not everyone's gonna get this. When you ain't listening, you're assuming about yourself. And the paradox is, you are both the listener and the knower. But you cannot listen if you're always trying to talk. There must be silence and gaps to listen. The kingdom of God is within. It's within. Right? It's within. You don't need to look out there. You don't need to look to the tarot. You don't need to ask that friend. You don't need to do... And when we fast from desire, fasting, when was the last time you fasted? It's good for your health. All these women I see buff in Gymshark, I'm like, lovey, retain a little bit of that femininity. Ooh, burns. What do you mean she's not feminine? Da, 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 da. Yeah. There is over-masculine tendencies in a lot of the divine feminine right now. Soften. The hard men, and there aren't too many, but there are a few, deal with that which you feel you do not have control of, because we're here. And we're doing our job, and we are doing it well. The Speaker of the House recently, there was nothing toxic feminine about her. Oh, the hammer incident. Definitely not to cloud over the fact that police might be around her. There are men and women risking their lives right now, defending the plan, the coming kingdom design. And it is going to happen. But it won't happen, paradoxically, for everyone. It'll happen for those who realize where the kingdom was all along. And I'll leave it with that. Mind gluttony.